Hello everyone, Adam with Crossover Games here, joined by our guru of Commander, Mr. Joshua.
How we doing?
We are here to discuss... You getting chased around, are you, Josh?
I am getting chased
You're
around.
getting chased around. We are here to discuss our favorite flies. I mean,
Oh,
our favorite top 10 cards of Lord of the Rings,
Tales of Middle-earth.
Tales of Middle-earth. Not our favorite commanders.
Yep.
Our 10 favorite commander cards with a few honorable mentions, of
In
course.
the 99, yeah.
In the 99, yep. Not as a commander per se, just in the 99.
This is going to be on the main set. We will review the pre-con cards in a separate video, but we're focusing on the main set right now.
Yep, the cards that would be legal and modern is essentially what we're going after here. So I guess let's jump into it. But before we do, this video is brought to you by Crossover Games in Malone, New York. Stop by there for any of these Lord of the Ring products, RC cars, hobbies, miniatures, whatever you're into.
D&D Warhammer, yeah.
Yeah, D&D, Warhammer, all of the goodies.
Everything.
So with that out of the way, let's jump right into the list.
Sounds good.
Our first honorable mention is Mirkwood Bats. It is a 2/3 for 4, 3 and a black. It's a creature bat. Flying, whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses a life.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
This sounds like a second copy of Nadir's Nightblade. This is going to go well in your Lathril decks. Anything that's going to be making and killing tokens. I can see this in a lot of Aristocrats decks. Queen Marchesa. Teysa Karlov. You want stuff to die. And when they die, you want it to be able to trigger. So I think this is good.
Yeah, this is going to be all over the place, I think. For an uncommon to make our honorable mention list
For
is kind
a
of
common.
Is it in fact a
It's
common?
in fact
It
a
is
common.
in fact a common,
Yeah.
yes. For that to make our list is...
Definitely one of the best in the set.
Yeah, for sure. It might be the best common for Commander in the set.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I got nothing to add to it.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward what it does.
Solid magic card. Yeah.
It is. Our second honorable mention is Reprieve. This is an instant for 1 and a white. Return target spell to its owner's hand. Draw a card.
So this is white unsubstantiate.
Yep.
pretty much.
Unsubstantiate is the blue version of this that came out. Boy, it's been a while now.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. It was Corset, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? Core 19?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Core 19 maybe? It was a game day promo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Store Championship.
Sick
whatever
art
it's
on that,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, full art.
This is like, I like the direction that Wizards has been going with white over the past few years, and I think that this is just more of that. You know, white is now drawing cards. White is having their own version of counter magic besides Mana Tithe.
Right.
This is just better white interaction. That's really all there is to say.
Yeah, and it needs it. But in the last 3 or 4 sets,
Yes.
it's very arguable that of the 5 best cards in all of the last 4 or 5 sets have had a white card or two. Or two, right? Phyrexia, one could argue that Elish Norn
yeah.
and Mondark.
Mondrak was very good.
Yeah, those two are certainly in the top 5 of cards from that set, I believe.
We're seeing white finally get the balancing that I think it deserves. So
Yeah, it's only 30 years later.
only.
Only.
No Savannah Lions.
There might be some more white cards on our list.
Well, here's one.
Oh, here is one. Next up on our list is a legendary enchantment. It is Flowering of the White Tree. White enchantment, as I said. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward. Non-legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. So we had this discussion the other day, Josh and I, about how this is just the best Anthem effect
Ever.
Yeah.
I think that this card is very good. I think this card goes in any white deck because you're always going to have at least one legendary creature that you'll be able to buff.
White weenies, tokens, whatever the case may be.
I'm going to play it in my Legend Ball Dahada deck. The 2 white pips don't really mean anything, but giving everything +2/+1 and Ward 1.
Seems great.
Ward 1 is nothing to sneeze about.
Ragavan. I'm going to dash in my 4/2.
Oh, that's gross.
Yep.
You want to interact with it? Oh, pay an extra.
Pay an extra. Yep. Going to be a good time.
Yeah, definitely the best Anthem.
Yeah. We when we discussed it, we discussed its comparisons to Honor of the Pure, Crusade, Glorious Anthem.
Yep.
It's just better than all those cards. I
Yep.
think Honor of the Pure is the closest. It's the same casting cost, but it's white creatures get +1/+1. Where Glorious Anthem was creatures get +1/+1, but it was 3.
Yep.
and Crusade was
White.
white.
Creatures get +1/+1.
Yeah. And I think Honor of the Pure is just creatures.
Yeah, it's 1 and a white for that, I believe.
It is. Yeah, I think you are right. Yep. So yeah, this is just an upgrade to all of those, or in addition to some of those.
I think we'll see this card quite a bit.
Yeah, it'll be all over the place. All right, our first card. Is this our first card?
We've made it into the top 10 now.
We have. Lost count already. Last March of the Ents. This thing is crazy. 6 green, 8 mana, sorcery. This spell can't be countered. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield.
This card is a mythic, and it is bananas.
Yeah, it's quite good.
This card's very good. I could see this in a lot of Kinnan decks, because that's already super creature heavy. I mean, Cheatin and Ulamog. Cast this spell, draw 10 cards, put all the rest of your beaters into play for 8 mana.
Yep. I think this card is in your Crater Hoof decks. It's pretty much in any of your big green decks.
I think this is going to be a green staple for sure. Yeah.
The can't be countered.
That's what made it there, yeah.
Yep, that's what got it to this list. If you pay 8 mana for a spell and it gets countered, big sads. The fact that this can't even be countered, yep.
Now, how many cards do you want to draw off of this where you think it's worth it?
3 to 4.
Yeah.
Is listen, if you just played like in Garruk's Wake, is that the card? What's the one? Garruk's Uprising? No. What's the green one where you draw cards to power of creature you control?
Return of the Wildspeaker.
What if you did that on the end step?
Yeah.
Right? You literally don't need to cast any. You cast this for 0.
This, you're good.
Yeah, as long as you can put the stuff from your hand.
See, I'm saying Arboreal Grazer. Draw 3 cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if your hand has like 2 or 3 cards, then probably getting 3 more cards is probably, the worst case scenario in which you want to be casting this. But if you got a full hand, I don't know, if you got your 0/3 Sylvan Carry out of the play, and you, like, that's enough, right?
Hey, more cards.
Yeah.
Never hurt nobody.
Especially in green, a place that sometimes struggles to get card advantage.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. It is another green card. It is Delighted Halfling. This is a 1/2 for just a green. Creature Halfling Citizen. Tap, add a generic, or tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend that mana only to cast a legendary spell, and that spell can't be countered.
It's a 1/2.
It is a 1/2. Did I say 1/1?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, it's a 1/2.
I think this
You'll
card...
see it.
I think this card is going in every green deck ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because your commander is always going to be green.
Always.
Yep.
And this is just always going to give you a free cast on your commander. No worries.
Correct. Playing commander tax, whatever. Yep. This card does it.
It's going to shine in Joda. It's going to do very well there. Aragorn, which we talked about, it's going to do very well there. But yeah, any deck that has green is going to have a Delighted Halfling. I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm going to use this to cast my Ragavans.
Of course you are.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. And then I'm going to play that white enchantment, and it's going to be a field day.
Better time.
Yeah.
I'm going to play...
Here comes my Naya deck.
You're going to play Naya Ragavan.
Here it comes.
It's a new modern tech for y'all.
Yes. Yeah, this card, speaking of modern, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, I think this is going to see play in modern.
Yep.
All right. Well, enough said about that little green guy.
Really
or
good.
girl. I didn't even take a good look.
Ladder lass.
Orcish Bowmasters. This is a 1/1 for 1 in the black. Creature, Orc, Archer, has Flash. When Orcish Bowmasters enters the battlefield and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, Orcish Bowmasters deals 1 damage to any target, then amass Orcs 1.
So you'll see it on screen. Amass Orcs is similar to the War of the Spark mechanic where you just amass. You create an Orc army and put a 1/1 counter on it, or if you have an existing Orc army, you can put the number of amass counters onto an existing army. But this is just having Flash. That's what got it here.
No, it wouldn't have gotten here otherwise.
No, absolutely not.
Negative. No.
You want to cast a Blue Sun Zenith? Oh,
well, thank
take
you.
10 damage, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, this card's good. Not a ton to say about it. I think it is. And honestly, I think if it didn't have the then amass Orcs 1, I still think it'd have made this list.
I think so as well.
Yep. That's a nice little bonus on this little 1/1 for 2. It's pretty impressive what this does for 2 mana. It does a lot for 2 mana.
I think the flexibility of any target is nice as well. Picking off creatures. Some pesky shit. Pesky stuff.
Pesky stuff.
Excuse me. Pesky planeswalkers. But the flexibility is really nice on this card. I like this card a lot.
Yeah. I can't even think of the last time a black card with flash was printed. Is it opposition agent?
Yeah.
But before that?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, moving right along. Boromir, Warden of the Tower. This is a 3/3 legendary creature, human soldier, for 2 and a white. So 3 mana, vigilance. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Sacrifice Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. The ring tempts you.
So you'll see the ring emblem. Every time the ring tempts you, you choose a creature you control to be your ring bearer. And every subsequent time, you can either A, choose a new ring bearer, but B, you also gain the next ability on the ring emblem. I think that's going to see some deck manipulation. I think it's going to be more important in Modern than it will be here. But that's not what's exciting here. Force of Will? Cool. Fierce Guardianship? Cool. Deflecting Spot? Dope.
Gitaxian Probe, Mental Misstep?
Yeah, it's gone. And there's a Heroic Intervention on a stick.
Yeah, this card is another white card that they've just pushed. That's what they've been doing.
It didn't make our top commanders list, but I definitely think this card will see a lot of play in any white 99.
A lot of the 99s, yeah. I don't think this standalone as a commander is
particularly good.
No, but this card is just going to be everywhere. It's going to be in Modern too.
Yes.
Maybe some sideboards. For sure.
Humans has been making a little bit of a comeback in Modern. I could see this being played.
Yeah, at the top of their curve, for sure. For sure. All right, moving right along. Oh, this is my fave.
This is yours, yeah?
Yeah, this is my fave. I wish they'd have done the whole cycle.
I know.
Mount Doom. It is a legendary land. Tap, pay 1 life, add a red or a black. Pay 1 red, black. Tap, Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent, or 5 black, red. Sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. We had some internal discussions about this one as well, Josh and I did. I think this is just better than Sulphur Springs.
Absolutely.
And I actually think in a lot of black-red decks, if you were to just have to pick between this or Blood Crypt, I still think this card is better, aside from not being fetchable.
Yeah.
I like what it does. I like activated abilities on my lands.
Having your lands do more than tap for mana is absurdly strong.
Yep.
I mean, look at some of the greats in the past, Library of Alexandria, for example. Like
Celestial Colonnade,
exactly.
Dominated Standard.
Yeah. Look at any card that you can play for free and have extra abilities tacked onto it that you can use whenever you want is going to be good.
Look at Mutavault.
Yeah,
Mutavault's been an all-star since its printing.
Inkmoth Nexus.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the flexibility of dealing damage to each opponent at instant speed, that's not going to be...
There's nothing to laugh at.
Exactly, yeah, you can do that whenever. And then even the one-sided board wipe, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean... And you're playing red. There's some good synergy with red and artifacts in general. So I think finding some legendary artifacts to sneak in to make this even better than it already is.
A whole bunch in the set.
Yeah, there's a pile in this set for sure. And I don't know that legendary artifact has always been as prominent as it has been in the last 5 years.
No,
going back in the day, I don't think a lot of artifacts had
the legendary.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
No, it's more of a modern thing, as in today's age.
Yeah, not the format. But yeah, Mount Doom. I wish that we would have gotten more than just the one dual land. But such is life. I don't play black or red currently in like one deck. But if you are, I think this is just an auto include, even if you're only running a handful of legendary artifacts. Just, find a workaround.
If you're playing Sulphur Springs, don't. Play this instead. Because
even just the one black red, even if you don't have a legendary artifact, that alone still makes this better than Sulphur Springs.
Agreed. Absolutely.
So, Mount Doom. I like it.
Very good.
Here we go. This
There's
is your
a legendary
favorite
artifact.
Here we go. The One Ring.
Had to talk about it. You
Absolutely.
Can't do Lord of the Rings without the One Ring.
That's right. It is a 4-mana legendary artifact. It is indestructible. When the One Ring enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the 1 ring. Tap, put a burden counter on the 1 ring, then draw a card for each burden counter on the 1 ring. Go ahead and dissect that.
Sorcery speed to Fairy's Protection and
Indeed it
any
is.
deck.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's...
Sign you up.
That sells it alone. But drawing cards, I'm always here for that.
You are.
I'm always here for drawing cards. Yeah, this card's pretty dang nasty for an artifact. I think this is going to go...
You're going to draw a lot of cards.
This is going to go just about everywhere, and if you have ways to untap it repeatedly, it's even better. I think
Gandalf.
No, yeah. The damage is negligible when you're playing around with 40 life.
Yeah, for sure.
Who cares? Yeah.
The 1 ring. Yeah, we couldn't do it without...
No, you had to have the 1 ring.
You gotta have it. Even if it was unplayable, we'd have put it on here. We'd have put it on here.
No, this card's great. I think we're going to see this card a lot.
Yeah, you're going to see the fact that it's an artifact, which of course it had to be. It's a ring, but
It's a chase card, yeah.
It's going to be great. Another green card, an enchantment. Elven Course. 3 and a green. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color.
So it's Future Sight meets Cryptolith Rite.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's pretty good.
It's got Sliver written all over it.
Sliver, elves, you're in a
The
tribe.
tapping for any color is what brings me right to Slivers, right?
It's just an extra mana left or a gem hide.
Yeah.
And it makes everything better.
And it's an enchantment, so it's
Harder to deal with.
Harder to deal with than, say, a gem hide. Yeah, I think this card is a lock in tribal decks or just creature decks that are in multiple colors.
Yep.
I mean, you brought up elves. Certainly, it's just more ramp for a deck that has a ton of ramp already. But in decks that don't necessarily have the ramp, like a Sliver deck, Kenrith, if you're going to play the creature style of that deck, that's...
And then not even just the ramp. This is pseudo draw. You know, for a deck that might run out of steam, you have a full library you can.
Initially, the first one is a draw, right? I guess as long as you can keep playing from it,
it's a pseudo draw. Yeah. I think this card's very good. It's gonna see a lot.
It's certainly top 10 worthy.
It's gonna go in any big creature deck with green.
Yeah, it's gonna go with that other guy from earlier. We're gonna go to Shadow of the Enemy, a black sorcery, 3 black. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those cards.
3 black.
Did I miss one?
So.
It's 3 and triple black, 6 mana total.
I think that the triple black might limit this only to mono or 2 colored, maybe 3, but
Certainly 1 and 2 color decks for sure.
Even though, I mean, this is just screaming like Keurig, Son of Yawgmoth. This card is
it does
very good. You play a Toxic Deluge, lose some life, cast this right after.
Yep. Keurig is the black commander that allows you to play your swamp symbols as life, right? It turns everything into Phyrexian.
Yeah, your black pips become Phyrexian, and it has lifelink.
Yep. That's going to make this card cost 3 mana and 6 life.
Yep.
And kibosh your whole stuff, all your stuff, and let me borrow some.
Give it to me. It's a slow Rise of the Dark Realms for 1 player, and that doesn't seem that bad.
No, seems quite good actually. You think this can see some play outside of Commander? Think it's too expensive? Probably for Commander, or for Modern.
I think 6 mana is a little tough in Modern, but look at the Indomitable Creativity decks and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this card doesn't shake a stick at those.
No, not at all. But that's just the type of playstyle though. You cheat it, or you have a way to cheat it, and I could see potentially something like that.
Right. All right, moving right along, we have another white card, also an enchantment.
Getting all the love.
Dawn of a New Age. Enchantment for 1 and a white, 2 mana total. Dawn of a New Age enters the battlefield with a hope counter on it for each creature you control. At the beginning of your end step, remove a hope counter from Dawn of a New Age. If you do, draw a card. Then if Dawn of a New Age has no counters on it, sacrifice it and you gain 4 life.
So we always want it to have counters.
For the most part, unless you're at 2.
Unless you're really struggling.
Yep.
This is just going to go in any white go wide.
Yeah, it's going to go in the same deck as the enchantment from earlier.
The flowering, yeah.
Yep.
You have 5 creatures. You just spend 2 mana, draw 5 cards over time.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable investment. I think this card is kind of what white needed. White has been getting all this card draw, and we're
Green's
finally,
been getting a fair amount of card draw too.
ever
oddly
since Guardian Project. Green has been doing a bit
Yeah.
better on the card draw end because we have the Great Henge too.
enough. Oh, the Great Henge.
Oh,
The card hurts.
card's good.
It's in this set.
It is. It is a box topper, I believe, or is it a secret layer?
Are we even sure it's in this set? Maybe it's
I
not.
think
in
it's a
this set.
secret layer Lord of the Rings.
Maybe it is a secret layer.
Either way, Dawn of a New Age.
Dawn of New Age, A+.
Draw cards in white. Can't
Yep.
beat that.
Perfect. Moving on, the last card on our list today. I think we both think this is an all-star in the making.
This card's quite good. This card's very, very good.
Spiteful Banditry. X red for an enchantment. When Spiteful Banditry enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to each creature. Whenever one or more creatures your opponents control die, you create a treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn.
This card's,
What do you need to say? You don't need to say a whole lot.
It's a red meat hook massacre that makes treasures
Right, instead of the loss of life.
instead of the loss of life. I can see this going into a lot of Rakdos shells, where you are
You get
going
to play them both?
play them exactly, where you're going to be having instant speed interaction on each player's turn, so you can really benefit off those treasures.
All right.
Cast a murder on someone else's turn, get a treasure. It's great.
It just seems like it's just never going to end, right?
No.
If you can cast this while you're still, head above the board, you're gonna do some things.
You're gonna go far, kid.
Yeah, you're gonna do well. So that is the end.
That wraps it up.
That's the end of the list that we had for our top 10 plus 3 honorable mentions of Commander cards from the new Lord of the Rings, something in the Middle Earth.
Tales of Middle Earth.
Tales of Middle Earth.
Let us know if we missed any, or if you have any favorites. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. We definitely, these are our favorites. Obviously, we both think this red card's bananas.
This card's good.
But if you have some favorites you want to throw in the comments, tag us, holler at us, whatever you want. We want to know.
Absolutely.
We want to know what your favorite cards are in the set, and that's all I got for this one, Josh.
That's all I've got too.
So until next time, we'll catch you on the next one.
See you soon.